Welcome back. And now we're going to talk about the stock that has been in focus for the last couple of days, BPCL. It's as part of our What's Buzzing link. Sonal is here to give us the latest on that. Sonal, over to you.
Thank you so much for that, Sonia. Well, there's an antique note which talks about what could be the consequences and the impact on IGL and Petronet LNG if BPCL does sell stake in both these companies ahead of the divestment. So just to give you some perspective, BPCL's stake in IGL is valued at 7,620 crore rupees, and in Petronet LNG, the 12.5% is valued at 4,425 crore rupees. Antique says this will obviate prospective owners' requirement to make an open offer after the divestment, and they also say that this process is not as straightforward as indicated in the media reports. They say that partial stake sale may not be good enough to shed the promoter status, and if there is a stake sale, it would be significant negative in the near term for both IGL and Petronet LNG. Any stake sale is likely to require amendments in the Articles of Association and formal consent of the co-promoters as well, which would in fact elongate the process of divestment, and this could in fact delay it as well. So these two stocks will be in focus there.
Okay, Sonal, thanks a lot for that. And let's move on from what's buzzing to what's trending. And there's an MSCI rebalancing which is effective today. Nimesh, what stock should we keep on our radar?
Hi, Amit. So yes, so in the last half an hour we'll see some impact of MSCI, rebalancing as well. So the net inflow for India is expected to be $650 to $680 million. So that's something to watch out for. In terms of individual names, in the large cap names, the three Adani stocks are getting added. So that's something to watch out for. BEL, Cholamandalam Finance, and SBI Card. These are the other few stocks to watch out. I will be watching out for Zee Entertainment very closely because that gets migrated from large cap to small cap. But to some extent, the impact has largely been taken care of. So maybe we'll see a bit of a bounce back in Zee Entertainment. In terms of small cap indices, there are some large additions. Some 33 stocks are getting added. In that, the key to watch would be BEML, the likes of Canara Bank, CAMS, a few FNO stocks like IRCTC, Sun TV, and Zee Entertainment. So these are the few stocks to watch out for. But the net number is India is going to see an inflow of close to $650 to $680 million in the last half an hour because of the MSCI rebate. Back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Nimesh, but we are going to keep your standout brokerage a secret. We're going to allow you to reveal that only after a few minutes because we have an important guest waiting by. Actually, Berger Paints, the company reported a strong set of earnings, clocking a top-down beat. Domestic volumes grew 60%. That's obviously because year-ago quarter was bad, and the quarter-on-quarter margin compression also has been much lower than what the street was expecting because of higher commodity prices. Abhijit Roy, Managing Director and CEO, Berger Paints, joins us now. Good morning, Abhijit. Always a pleasure having you with us. Before I come to, margins and stuff like that, give us an idea of how April and May are panning out. It looks like Q4 you have done exceptionally well in terms of volumes. But this is a comparison to year ago, where you had a minus 4%. So in terms of total volume sold, how did Q4 compare with Q3? And how were April and May?
So Q4, as you rightly said, we had a very, very strong growth overall across all divisions of our company, which means, the decorative and all the industrial divisions. So we did fairly well across almost every category. The volume growth that we saw was very strong in Q4. Q3, of course, is a seasonal period, and it's always is very strong otherwise. But Q4 also this year, due to various factors and the confluence of such factors, we did, I think, is the highest growth rate in the industry, and definitely we managed to therefore clock a double-digit volume growth by the end of the year. So we began with minus 48, but we ended, the year with a positive growth rate, which is, I think, fairly good. Now, if you look at, how this happened and what were the reasons for it, there were a combination of 4-5 factors which helped us in Q4. Number one is that, of course, you mentioned about the base, but that's only a part of it. There was, strong demand as well in the marketplace. The third was that, some of the projects which had got stalled in the first 2 quarters got bunched up in the fourth quarter. So that sale came. These were all temporary things. Some of the permanent things which also happened, we did manage to increase our distribution footprint quite a lot in the rural areas. We also had a very strong growth in the premium segment. We were advertising very heavily in the fourth quarter, you would have seen two brands, Weathercoat Long Life and Silk Breathe Easy. We in fact took two brand ambassadors, Akshay Kumar and Kareena Kapoor, to advertise these brands, and we spent heavily there. That yielded result as well. Coupled with that, there was a strong growth in the waterproofing and construction chemicals. So a combination of all these factors helped us to sustain this type of growth rate. Part of it, as I said, was temporary, the project and the base effect, but the other three will continue.
Okay, so Mr. Roy, can you tell us what is the situation so far? How has April and May been in terms of demand? And is it possible that once pent-up demand comes through as the restrictions and lockdowns are lifted, we can yet again see double-digit growth by the company in terms of volumes?
Yeah, so April had been very good actually. No problems, because though the lockdowns did start, somewhere around the third week of April in some places. But we were able to do a reasonable growth as far as April is concerned on last year volume. So it is comfortable. May, of course, has been sort of fits and starts in many places. It has been closed down, complete lockdowns in many locations. So May we will run short as far as volumes are concerned. But in June, we are hoping that, as I have always maintained, that in paint, the demand doesn't go away. It typically gets postponed. Whether it will come back in June or later on, we don't know. Sometimes it gets postponed a bit down the way. But, I'm hopeful that, we will again see better growth rates in the later months once the economy reopens.
Okay. Abhijit, I wanted to also know the way the commodity prices have trended. You've been able to pass it on, I assume, in Q4. Your gross margins are down only 50 basis quarter on quarter. People were expecting that they might fall even, 2 percentage points, 200 basis points. You've managed that, but will that be a little tough going forward?
Yes, Lata, so it won't be that easy going forward. The prices have risen further. So we had some stocks which helped us, both raw material and finished goods in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
So it will not be that easy going forward, to maintain this margin. We have taken one price increase effective 1st May. We may have to take another, soon.
Okay.
On the solvent-based products, which we haven't taken so far. But I think we will need to take that.
Okay. Well, then that leads to two follow-up questions. How much of the inventory was there and how much is still left with you? And what's your view on raw material prices? You expect them to continue to rise, or are you seeing any easing off at all?
So raw material has been exhausted, of the old vintage,
Okay.
So whatever is now there is a
Newly procured. Okay.
New prices. Therefore, no, that advantage won't be there going forward. However, we see a little bit of softening of one or two raw material prices. The others are remaining stable at the current levels. We expect that going forward, some minor decrease is likely to happen in some of the raw material prices.
Okay, you had earlier raised your capex plans from 400 crores to 700 crores because of high demand expectations. Will you stick to that? And when will your new plant, your Lucknow plant, come on stream?
So we are sticking to that. In fact, we are going full steam ahead. L&T has been given the contract. They are working on it, extensively in Lucknow, even in this period. We are sticking to our original plan, of 700 plus crores, which we had mentioned earlier, and it will come on stream from January of next year.
Okay. Any estimate on how you will see your decorative and your industrial divisions growing?
So it's very difficult to call, Lata, as you know, that the economy is slightly volatile at this stage.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
How the economy opens up and how people react. But my estimate is that we will still be able to do a double-digit growth, even in 21, 22.
Yeah, I know. It's a slightly unfair question at a time or a juncture circumstance like this. Okay, let me ask you past performance. Your industrial division, automotive coatings and Sabu coatings, you acquired 2 years ago. How has that panned out?
So Sabu Coatings did very well in the fourth quarter. In fact, it was higher than even 60%. So we had a fairly robust growth there. Of course, for the YTD basis, it had much more slippages in the first quarter. So overall, it performed slightly below the company performance, but it's doing well. And it's in a niche segment. It's in specialty coatings, and it has its own strengths, and it continues to perform. We did acquire another waterproofing company called STP. That is also doing fairly well and has been integrated now with us, and it's doing well.
Okay, Abhijit, now that people will not be kind of lifting stocks from you, what is the capacity you are running at for the various products?
So May was much lower, probably around 50% of the normal that we do, because we had some stock, and as you said, there was lesser lifting, so there was no point building up the stock further. But I think June we will be back to normal. April we were operating at almost full capacity.
So just coming back to an earlier point, you said that you won't be able to maintain your margins at these levels. Any indication of how much the margins could fall in the near term? I mean, anything that you're penciling in?
So we are taking a lot of initiatives to contain that. We are quite hopeful that the fall will be very marginal, if at all. We are taking various measures on the sourcing side, on R&D, on our own expenses wherever we can cut it. We will do that, and therefore maintain the margins. And we are very near to these levels, but it will be difficult to increase from here on.
Okay. Okay, Abhijit, it's always a pleasure having you with us. Thank you very much for joining in, and let's hope that after this this month of May, from June onwards, you will once again have a colourful year ahead. Thank you for joining.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll just run you through the past financials of Berger Paints. It's been a strong past for that call. Look at the revenue growth. In spite of the troubles of FY21, both early in the year and late in the year, that's the way the margins have panned out, strong showing. And the net profit will also run for you in just a sec. Okay, that's the net profit number. Okay, early morning rates are very much in favor of the bulls, except for the Nifty Bank. I just want to point out, Manappuram, the damage is not much. It's just about 2.3% lower. On the other hand, I should be pointing out to the very, very green color on BPCL. BPCL started off much better. Now it's come down to 2.7%. Anuj, you tell us.
Yes, Lata. The market knew that the dividend is going to be hefty. You could have argued for 58 or 50 or 52. So let's see how that one opens. But I think there's a bit of a dichotomy once again on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. The Bank Nifty is starting slightly lower compared to the Nifty, but Nifty is really strong, 15,324. The only issue is, as you move towards the all-time high, there might be some algo trades which could work out. But let's go close to Nimesh then for standout brokerage report before we take the 9-10 call. Nimesh, what have you chosen today?
Hi, Mr. Today's standout is in Tata Motors from CLSA. They reiterated a buy on the stock with a target price of 450. The report says that JLR started outperforming its peers in China and Europe, and only now underperforming the US market. In fact, CLSA does this calculation of the monthly sales, and according to that report, the April monthly retail sales grew 150% YOY. Do remember that Tata Motors do not provide the monthly data, so the CLSA calculations are based on the overall disclosures across the globe, and that which contributes nearly 80-85% of the JLR volume. So that calculation is based on that. And while CLSA expects that the first half is going to be very tough for Tata Motors, they expect the free cash flow and deleveraging to continue in the second half of FY22, and hence a buy rating with a target price of 450. But the key is that JLR has started outperforming its peers in China and Europe.
Okay, Nimesh, thanks a lot for that. Let's now take the 9.
Okay. Well, that was a great special report, standout brokerage from Nimesh. Let's watch Tata Motors. That stock can do wonders. At the moment, markets have quietened down after the pre-opening bid, so maybe it's a good time to take the 9-10 call. Shrikant, what would you trade now?
I think, see, Lata, the way there is activity in all pharma companies and the way the pharma index has broken its all-time highest level after 5 years of time, I think they are certainly going to remain under watch list, and Sun Pharma is certainly looking good. It is consolidating well above the mark of 690, 700 levels. Here we are expecting 750, 760 eventually, but yes, in the near term, maybe in today's date, we may see the levels of 720, 725 on the higher side. So it's a buy at current levels with a stop loss at 694. We are also bullish on Cadila, which is currently trading at 630, 631. And there also we are seeing thin volumes and sideways sort of activity. So again, if there is any activity in the pharma index, then Cadila should do well. That's the overall view.
Okay, got that. Shrikant, thanks a lot for that. Markets like in extremely flat terrain with a little bit of advantage for the bulls. Newgen Software is again up after yesterday's steaming rally, up 2.5%. We still have a couple of minutes, so let's tell you what the street is expecting from Eicher Motors. The stock at the moment about 0.6 higher. Sonia, what are the expectations?
Well, Q4 was a very good quarter, as we know, for the auto sector. So the numbers are expected to be strong this time. A revenue growth of 32% is what the street is expecting. EBITDA to go up by 57% this time around, and profit after tax expected to surge by 80%. Royal Enfield's volume growth was very strong in Q4. Lata, up almost 26%. They had a new launch, the new Meteor as well, which did extremely well. There's a good waiting period over there. Even the commercial vehicle volumes went up 56%. But remember, the company has also announced that they will be shutting their manufacturing plants for 3 days from May 27 to 29 because of a big surge in COVID cases. Apparently, according to reports, 600 out of 1,500 workers have tested positive. We've reached out to the company, will confirm that in some time, but that could keep a little pressure on the stock. But Q4 numbers are expected to be quite strong.